Dharma Bites is brought to you by Free Buddhist Audio, the Dharma for your life. Our work is funded entirely by donations from our generous listeners. If you would like to help us keep this free, make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. Thank you, and happy listening.
On they went to Vidisa and Vinasa, to Kasambi and Saketa, until they came to the greatest of all cities, Savatthi. From there they set out again, this time for the land of the Magadha. They passed on their way through Satavia, Kapilavatthu, and the town of Kusinara. They went on to Pava, to Bogangara, the city of wealth, and then to Fasali, where they came to the beautiful Pasanaka Chaitya, the rock temple. They climbed up the mountain path with the zeal and the haste of a merchant drawn to wealth, or a thirsty man to cool water, or a man with sunstroke to shade. And there, with the order of monks gathered all around him, sat the Lord, the Blessed One. He was explaining the Dharma to them. The lion was roaring in the jungle. Ajita saw the man full of enlightenment. It was like the sun shining without burning. It was like the moon bright and full on a full moon day. So I wanted to start with that extract to just explore an initial question, which I think is important. And the question is, what is it that draws people together to form a Sangha? You know, how does a Sangha sort of come about? So in that passage, you get this description of, I think there are 16 students of the Brahman Bharvari. Bharvari tells his students about the existence of the Buddha. He's heard about the existence of this awakened being. And the 16 students then go out on this journey. So from that passage, I think you get this really vivid sense of, you know, that long sort of section of like going from city to city, town to town. They go on this long journey to meet the Buddha because they've got questions to ask him. You know, it's a long journey and it requires effort. I think you get a sense of that effort that they're making to go and see and meet the Buddha. But I think you also get the sense of these students sort of have these existential questions. It sort of comes out later in the sutta because the sutta is basically just their questions to the Buddha. But you do get this sense, I think, of that they're looking for some sort of respite, for some sort of shelter. Not from the journey itself, although I'm sure they did need that, but from their suffering. They're looking for some sort of respite and release from their suffering, and that's why they want to meet the Buddha. And then they find the Buddha, and again you get this very beautiful imagery, I think, of the Buddha's light, you know, the sun shining without burning, the brightness of the full moon. So they've now found that sort of light, they've found that brightness of the Buddha and his teachings. And that light is shining, again, you know, as the sutta goes on, you get this sense of this light shining on their questions, that is releasing them from their confusion and sense of suffering.
We hope you enjoyed today's Dharma Bite. Please help us keep this free. Make a contribution at freebuddhistaudio.com/donate. And thank you.